Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Aging is a journey filled with wisdom, experience, and yes, changes in our bodies that we might not always feel comfortable talking about. But today, I want to break one of those taboos and shine a light on something we often laugh off: farts. Yes, I said it. Farts, gas, flatulence, whatever you call it, it's a normal part of life. But after the age of 60, it's not always something to ignore. Sometimes your body is whispering to you through those little puffs of air, and sometimes it's screaming. Flatulence after the age of 60 isn't just a quirky part of growing older. It can be your body's way of trying to communicate something important. It's easy to dismiss gas as harmless or even laugh it off as a moment of embarrassment. But the truth is, the digestive system evolves as we age. Muscles weaken, enzyme production slows, and our gut microbiome can shift dramatically. These changes often go unnoticed until symptoms begin to speak louder, and sometimes that voice comes in the form of excessive or unusual gas. When we are younger, our bodies are more resilient. We might eat questionable food and suffer nothing more than a mild stomach ache or a little bloating. But as we cross into our 60s and beyond, our systems become more sensitive. What once passed easily through our digestive tract may now linger, ferment, and lead to gas that smells stronger, feels more uncomfortable, and occurs more frequently. That's not just aging. It's your gut telling you that something is different. The key to thriving after 60 is not just to accept every bodily change as normal, but to learn from it. Our bodies are incredible at giving signals. Sometimes it's fatigue, sometimes it's pain, and sometimes it's gas. That gas might be signaling imbalances in the gut flora, signs of slowed digestion, or dietary choices your body no longer tolerates. The motivation here is clear: pay attention. When you start treating gas not as a joke, but as a form of biological feedback, you begin taking real control of your health. Awareness leads to action, and action leads to prevention. You're never too old to listen, learn, and make a change that could protect your future. Now let's talk about one of the most obvious and often most alarming signs: foul-smelling gas. Everyone passes gas. It's a natural part of digestion. But when the odor becomes especially strong, offensive, or persistent, it's time to tune in rather than tune out. Foul-smelling gas can be a red flag. It may suggest that your digestive system isn't breaking down food properly. Undigested food that lingers in the colon can ferment and rot, creating sulfur-rich gases that carry that unmistakable odor. For many older adults, this can be tied to a decline in stomach acid or digestive enzymes. Without enough acid or enzymes, certain foods, especially proteins, aren't fully broken down in the stomach, which means they ferment lower in the digestive tract. The result? Smelly gas that comes more often and hangs around longer. This isn't just a matter of inconvenience. It could point to malabsorption issues, where your body isn't getting the nutrients it needs from food. Over time, malabsorption can lead to weight loss, fatigue, and even weakened immunity. Another possible cause of foul-smelling gas is an imbalance in gut bacteria. After 60, the microbiome can change drastically due to medications, decreased activity levels, or dietary shifts. If harmful bacteria begin to outnumber helpful ones, it can cause fermentation of food in unhealthy ways. This imbalance, known as dysbiosis, has been linked to inflammatory conditions, autoimmune diseases, and even mental health issues. Recognizing the smell of your gas might not be glamorous, but it can be empowering. It's not about paranoia, it's about awareness. If your gas has suddenly changed in frequency, smell, or severity, it's worth discussing with a doctor or nutritionist. There may be a food intolerance, an infection, or a deeper issue worth addressing. By taking action early, you avoid bigger problems later. Being over 60 doesn't mean surrendering your health to chance. It means standing in a position of strength, armed with the wisdom to notice what others ignore. Don't be embarrassed by your body's signs. Be inspired by them. Every signal, every sound, every symptom is your body's way of reminding you you're still alive, still learning, and still in control. Sudden changes in gas patterns can be more than just a random occurrence or a passing inconvenience. For many people over the age of 60, these changes could be early warning signs of shifts happening inside the digestive system. A person might notice that they are passing gas more frequently than usual, or perhaps less frequently but with more discomfort. They may feel more bloated after meals or experience gas at unusual times, such as during the night or early morning. These may seem like small changes, but they are worth noticing. As the body ages, the entire digestive process can slow down. The muscles of the digestive tract don't contract as efficiently, food takes longer to move through, and the bacteria in the gut may behave differently than before. When gas patterns change, it's the body's way of signaling that something is different. Something might need your attention. Sometimes it's a change in diet that triggers it, like adding new fiber or eliminating a food group. But other times it's your gut signaling deeper issues like inflammation, intestinal blockages, or even the early stages of diseases such as colorectal cancer. Colorectal cancer is one of the most treatable cancers when caught early, yet many people ignore the earliest signs because they seem too minor or too embarrassing to discuss. A new pattern of gas, especially when combined with changes in stool, unexplained weight loss, or fatigue, should never be brushed off. It's not about jumping to conclusions. It's about being proactive, smart, and responsible with your health. Recognizing these subtle shifts and being willing to talk about them with a medical professional shows strength, not weakness. It shows wisdom. You've lived long enough to know your body, and when something doesn't feel right, that intuition is often correct. The ability to act on those instincts could make a significant difference in the quality of your life. You are not just surviving after 60. You are building the foundation for years of health and vitality to come. Gas accompanied by fatigue or weight loss is another important signal the body gives when something more serious could be brewing beneath the surface. These symptoms, when combined, are especially important to take seriously. They often point to issues with nutrient absorption or inflammation within the digestive tract. When the body is unable to properly absorb nutrients from food, it starts pulling from its own reserves, leading to unexplained weight loss, low energy, and a general feeling of being unwell. Many older adults ignore these symptoms, chalking them up to just getting older. But age does not equal automatic decline. Weight loss without trying, along with gas, could indicate problems like celiac disease, Crohn's disease, or even certain types of cancer. These aren't conditions to fear, they're conditions to detect early so they can be managed effectively. In fact, many people who discover these issues early go on to live vibrant, active lives by simply making the necessary lifestyle and dietary changes. Even something as subtle as fatigue after meals can be a signal. If your body is struggling to break down and absorb nutrients, it's working overtime. That extra burden can leave you feeling drained, even if you've had enough sleep. That kind of tiredness isn't just about age. It's your body asking for help. Paying attention to the link between digestive symptoms and energy levels helps build a more complete picture of your health. When you feel off, your body is not failing you. It's fighting for you. It's asking for care, not silence. That's why talking about gas isn't silly. It's a form of self-respect. It's recognizing that your health still matters deeply and deserves thoughtful attention. At this stage of life, knowledge is power and awareness is everything. The more in tune you are with your body's signs, even the ones we often joke about, the more empowered you become. You don't have to be a doctor to notice when something has changed. You just have to care enough to act. Because staying healthy after 60 isn't about perfection. It's about paying attention and taking action when your body calls out. Gas accompanied by fatigue or weight loss is a message from the body that deserves to be taken seriously. As we grow older, it's easy to chalk up tiredness or dropping a few pounds to the natural aging process, but there is a difference between normal aging and symptoms that point to an underlying issue. When gas, especially persistent or painful gas, begins to show up alongside unexplained fatigue or weight loss, it may be a signal that the digestive system is not functioning as it should. The digestive tract is responsible for absorbing the nutrients that fuel your energy and keep your body strong. If something interferes with that absorption, like inflammation, an undiagnosed food sensitivity, or a more serious condition like celiac disease or Crohn's disease, your body may begin to run on empty. You could be eating enough, but still losing weight because the nutrients aren't being properly absorbed. This can leave you feeling drained, weak, and confused about where your energy is going. Fatigue isn't always about sleep. It can be about nutrition. It can be about what's going wrong in your gut, not your routine. After 60, the body becomes more sensitive to these imbalances, and even minor digestive issues can lead to significant health effects. The mistake many people make is brushing these signs aside, assuming it's just part of aging. But every symptom has a cause. And when multiple symptoms start to appear together, it's the body's way of making the signal louder. Gas that's coupled with fatigue or weight loss should never be ignored. These are not separate issues. They are connected pieces of the same puzzle. Finding out why can be the key to reversing the problem and restoring vitality. This is where motivation plays an important role. When you're aware of these signs, you're empowered to take action. You don't have to live in fear or wait until the symptoms become unbearable. You can speak up, get tested, and make the changes that can help your body function at its best. You're not helpless in the face of these changes. You are capable, experienced, and strong enough to take control of your health and protect your future. Painful gas after eating common foods is another message that should not be dismissed. If meals that once gave you joy now lead to discomfort, bloating, or cramping, it could mean your body is starting to react differently to what you eat. This isn't about weakness. This is about evolution. Our bodies change, and as we grow older, so do our dietary needs. Food intolerances can develop later in life, even if those foods never caused problems before. Lactose, gluten, certain fats, or even high-fiber vegetables can start to produce gas, pain, or inflammation when the body no longer tolerates them. These symptoms can also point to more complex issues like irritable bowel syndrome, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, SIBO, or delayed gastric emptying. The key is to not suffer in silence. It's not weakness to acknowledge that your body is reacting to something. It's wisdom. It's awareness. And that awareness can lead to better choices, better nutrition, and a better life. Instead of avoiding the problem or resigning yourself to discomfort, choose to explore what your body is trying to tell you. Talk to a doctor, keep a food journal, pay attention to patterns. Small adjustments to your diet can bring big relief and prevent the problem from escalating. You are not meant to endure pain just because you're older. You are meant to thrive, with the knowledge and experience you've gained. There is nothing weak or shameful about seeking answers. There is strength in knowing your body and even more strength in taking care of it. Your health after 60 is not just about survival. It's about quality of life. It's about having the energy, comfort, and confidence to live the way you want. When you honor your symptoms and act on them, you give yourself the greatest gift, the ability to live your later years with freedom, dignity, and strength. Listening to your body, even when it speaks in awkward or uncomfortable ways, is one of the most powerful decisions you can make after 60. Many people are raised to ignore the small signs, to tough it out, or to feel embarrassed about symptoms that involve digestion, gas, or bowel changes. But the truth is, your body communicates through symptoms, not words. When something is off inside, the first signs are often subtle, easy to miss, and yes, sometimes uncomfortable to talk about. That's where true awareness comes in. Gas might seem trivial, but when you start paying attention to when it happens, how it feels, what it's triggered by, and whether it's accompanied by other symptoms, you begin to build a better relationship with your own health. You don't need to be a doctor to know your own patterns. You've lived in your body for over 6 decades. You know how it feels when things are normal, and you know when something's different. Trust that instinct. It is one of your greatest tools. Ignoring small signs can lead to larger problems down the road. A change in digestion may seem minor, but it could be the earliest warning of something that, if caught early, is completely manageable. Things like diverticulitis, ulcers, or even polyps in the colon can first show up as nothing more than a shift in gas or bloating. When you listen early, you give yourself the best shot at avoiding pain, procedures, or complications later. You're not just avoiding illness, you're building a stronger, healthier future. That's what self-respect looks like. That's what strength looks like. There's incredible courage in not brushing things off. In choosing to say, "This doesn't feel right. I'm going to do something about it." That's how you stay in control. That's how you move from reacting to leading. Your health journey doesn't stop at 60, it evolves. And the more you tune in, the more power you gain to make choices that support your body, mind, and spirit. Don't be ashamed to talk about gas, digestion, or any symptom that shows up. Don't let embarrassment be the thing that keeps you from getting help. Far too often, people wait too long to talk to their doctor because they think the problem is not serious enough or too awkward. But your health doesn't care about what's polite. It only responds to what you do. Every time you speak up, ask questions, and get checked, you send a powerful message to yourself and others. Your well-being matters. Seeing your doctor early when something changes is not weakness. It is wisdom. It's self-care. You don't have to wait for things to get bad before you take action. You can act when they're still small, still manageable, still easy to fix. That's the beauty of early attention. You protect yourself before something becomes urgent. You give yourself options, control, and peace of mind. Every checkup, every test, every honest conversation you have about your health is a step toward freedom. It's a step toward more good days, more energy, and more life. You've worked hard, raised families, built careers, cared for others. Now it's time to care deeply for yourself. Your later years are not the end. They are the reward. They are the time to enjoy everything you've built. But that only happens when your health supports you. Being proactive about something as simple as gas may seem small, but it represents something much larger. It represents ownership of your body. It represents self-awareness, strength, and the refusal to be passive about your future. Don't wait. Don't downplay. You deserve to live these years feeling strong, confident, and in control. Trust your gut. It's been with you through everything, and when it speaks, it's because it knows it's time to act.